Hello everybody, welcome to the Emilia-Romagna region of northern Italy. Alongside the river Santerno, this is Imola, considered the western entrance to this historical region of Romagna. It was the Lombards who first used the name Imola for this city back in the 7th century. The architecture varies from old to new. We're here, of course, for racing, but it is on a very historic racetrack.
We are here in Italy in the Imola circuit, and we are here for 12 hours of Imola, Hankook 12-hour Imola.
Originally, it was just the Autodromo Dino Ferrari after Alfredino, who died tragically in his early 20s. But since the death of Enzo Ferrari, El Commendatore, his name was added to the track too.
We are very happy to host here the first Hankook endurance in Imola. We are really enthusiastic for this race. I think that also the drivers like very much our circuit. The endurance in Imola has got a long history from the 1,000 kilometers of Imola, and this 12 hours for us means that Imola is back for the endurance, so we are very happy about it.
Our 12-hour race is split over 2 days. First part on Friday afternoon, a 60-minute qualifying session before that on Friday morning. The qualifying session was stopped twice with red flags to clear the track, one of them for an incident for the number 103 Seat.
Was it me? Let me think. Yeah, it was me. So on my second flying lap, turn 4 and 5, I tried to go a little bit faster, and that was too fast. So I lost the rear, and the rear went into the gravel, and I put a lot of gravel on the track. So sorry to my colleagues.
Using a red flag for track cleaning is unheard of during the races in the 24H series, but it was the right thing to do in this qualifying session.
We decided to do a red flag to do it more quick. As in the Code 60, else you do the training session at the end on the Code 60, and that's not the intention of the training session.
The cars at the front of the field are the A6 class. This category is split into amateur, limited by their lap times, and professional, limited in fuel, but they can drive as fast as they like. For this race, some of the AM teams have switched into the pro class.
When we saw what the pro times were, we said, okay, we are going to try to do the pro, try to get a bit higher up the podium, but at the end, okay, there are 8 pro cars, and we thought there would be only 5 or 6. So okay.
A second red flag just before the end of the qualifying session. What then was their problem?
We sadly ran out of fuel. It was a slight miscalculation with the fuel. However, we'll be in good shape for the race.
The red flag was bad news for the number 911 Herbert Porsche.
And when I went out for first time, the red flag comes out, so I had to come to a pit again. And then they said, okay, now we have 5 minutes left in the session, and we go out for 2 quick laps. So that were our best laps in the end. Good enough for P1.
Qualifying over, and the GP Extreme team altered their driver lineup for their 2 Renaults.
Yeah, just last minute, just before the race, up between qualifying and the race, we decided to put one car in the pro category instead of the M category, so it turned out to be a better lineup if I went to the other car.
Just an hour away from the start of the race, JR Motorsport have brought in a replacement car. Their original entry failed during free practice.
The guys were in the plane already to go to Italy, and we gave them a call. The engine broke down of the other car, so please take a T-car. So they hopped out of the plane, went to the garage, put it on the trailer, and they arrived 1 hour ago.
It's Friday afternoon, and they're getting ready to race. It's a full grid, and the drivers think ahead to the start of the race.
You've got to see how the start goes. The target for the end of part 1 is to be on the lead lap, hopefully in the lead, but worst case scenario, on the lead lap.
Long race, anything can happen, really difficult racetrack here. Imola, it's really narrow, bumpy, difficult to overtake slower cars, so the traffic will be really issue, especially in the beginning. Now we have 4 hours, so it's not the longest part now, so just now we need to survive and tomorrow will be the proper race.
I think we will have a really exciting race. The drivers, I spoke many of them, they are really excited about this track. So we are expecting a real good and good competition.
With the drivers focused on the start of the race, in the pit lane the number 28 is repaired just in time to join the team pushing the car to the fuel station.
We had a problem during free practice this morning, which required an engine change. The guys did an amazing job, and I think they changed it in just under 2 hours. So, which in this car was quite a lot of work.
As the Renault arrives at the fuel pumps, the field is released for 2 warm-up laps. The first for warming up the tyres, the second to get into grid position for the rolling start. At the end of the pit lane, the 108 Audi, but they'll have to wait until the green flag and all the cars have gone by before they can start their race. On the first warm-up lap, at the back of our picture, the blue Mercedes number 24 of SPS Automotive is losing power.
I touch the main electric switch and I switch off the engine, the car. And the problem, to restart the car, I must have to switch off again, wait a couple of seconds to make a reset, restart the electric main system and restart the car.
The 24 is back in its grid position. The 28 Renault is at the pit lane exit. It's time to start the first leg of the Hankook 12 Hours of Imola. The lights are off and the field charged down to the first corner on this historic track. Everyone looking for the best position, but they know they have to keep their noses clean. You don't want to start the first lap of a 12-hour segment, damage to the car. Ferrari number 11 loses a couple of places and falls down to 4th. The 29 Porsche makes up 2 positions, starting 4th, but now right in behind the race leader. The 28 Renault hasn't got going. Marshals and even the race director are trying to get the car started by giving it a good push, but it's to no avail.
We got ready just in time to start from the pit lane, but there was an issue with the idle. The idle was set a little bit too high, so while waiting it destroyed the clutch. So unfortunately we had no clutch, so no start.
In SP2, the LMS Engineering Audi number 206 has started the race with an excellent stint. But the German team have got into technical difficulties.
I was breaking down for a Rivazza and the gearbox didn't shift down anymore and didn't accept any gears, so I had to roll back to the pits and we needed to change the gearbox, unfortunately.
The gearbox change took an hour and a half for the team to complete. Nowadays, endurance racing is not without excitement, not without risk either, as Guillaume Roman crosses the picture into the gravel.
Guillaume had a brake issue. Brake were a bit too hot. He lost the car, went on the gravel bed, a bit too hot, and he broke a rib. So he's in hospital for 4 days with the broken ribs.
This accident might have been much worse if Robert Lucas in the third car had stayed on his racing line.
Yeah, I saw him in my mirror. In one moment he was away. I was thinking he's on the left side and I don't turn into the corner. Then we would have a big crash, and yeah, good that I stayed on the right and I wait. And yeah, it was a big hit, I think. I don't know if he hit the wall or not, but it was quite fast on my left side.
The number 1 Hofer Mercedes has switched into the A6 Pro class for this event, but their first Pro outing has not been what they had expected.
Serious contact after the number 30 was coming out of the pits. I think he was heating up the tires and don't saw me anywhere, so I can't miss the impact. So we crashed the cooling system, so we have to change the cooler.
In A6 AM, the 32 is catching everyone's attention. They've already built up a 2-lap lead. In A6 Pro, a different strategy has put the number 17 E-Deck Mercedes at the head of the class, and they're leading the race overall when Dimitri Engelbert hands over the car.
It was a perfect stint. I start P6 and I can overtake a car just at the first corner. So I was P5 and then I tried to save my front tires. And yes, after the stint, it was a big surprise to see I'm first.
I did finish in 12th position overall and in first position in the class.
It was after about 75 minutes of driving. Yeah, quite happy with that. I really have to say it was really, really a good stint, and I had a lot of pleasure driving it, so I can say that.
The number 10 Leiper Lamborghini is in the pit lane with issues, much to the dismay of Harold Schlotter. Meantime, in the garage, the LMS Audi still being repaired.
We had quite a difficult start of the race. The gearbox broke down, so yes, after half an hour we needed to repair it, and it took us such a long time that we had 50 laps down, or we were 50 laps down. So this was a very disappointing beginning of the race.
After 2 hours of racing, LMS is 33rd overall and 9th in the SP2 class. 62 laps completed for the top 7, the top 3 all Mercedes AMG GT3s. Perhaps surprisingly, it's the A6 AM category car of SPS Automotive Performance who is out in front. They've got an 18-second advantage ahead of the E-Deck number 17 Pro entry in second, and then it's another 20 seconds back to Ram Racing, the number 30 in SP2, with Porsche Lorient Racing's number 64 car leading, the E-Deck Sport Racing 75 second, and on the same lap in third, the B2F Competition 35 car. In the TCR class, the SICL.com Seat number 120 has used the last 120 minutes to build a lap advantage back to second, the 335 Peugeot. Third place, the number 103 of TTC Racing. So things beginning to settle down after the first 2 hours, but there's plenty of racing still to come from Imola.
The track is amazing, you know, with so many challenges, special corners, and you know, it's a very famous track with a big history. I'm Austrian, you know, sadly, one of our race colleagues, Roland Ratzenberger, and even Anton Senator passed away, and so it's for me a really honor to race. It's my first time to race here at this great track.
You know, it's really close. I won't say it's like a street circuit, but hey, you have the walls close to the track, houses in the middle. It's like a little bit strange for me at so to say, but at the end it's okay. Eh? What I said, it's not an easy track. And you have a lot of curbs, a lot of corners following after each other. So if you mess up the first corner, you mess up the next two as well. So that's not so easy. So I like it very much.
The official name of the track is the Autodromo Enzo Edino Ferrari. But even if you're racing a Ferrari, it doesn't necessarily mean you know this track.
First time at Imola, it's really very difficult racetrack, but I try to learn, so I'm still at the beginning.
There are many drivers here who've been lucky enough to compete here before. They all have their own opinion of the circuit.
I know Imola for quite some years, so I have been driving here a lot, and I really like this track. I think it's one of my favorites because it goes up, it goes down, nice corners, so I really like it a lot.
I think it's just, I just think that, you know, more of a driver's circuit. You know, you've got to it's more down to drivers. I mean, some of the newer circuits are longer straights and having bigger runoffs. You can make a few more errors and probably get away with these. You've got to drive well.
SPS Automotive Performance have brought the 24 AMG into the pit lane. It's just been filled with Panther Racing fuel, and now the crew goes to work putting on a new set of Hankook tyres. Iraj Alexander is handing it over to Richard Feller. 30 minutes into the race, the 206 was pushed into its garage with a broken gearbox. But the team didn't just pack up and drive home. They've changed the gearbox, and 2 hours later, they're back in the race.
But now the car runs again. We don't drive home. We will finish the race tomorrow, and I think we have a nice day tomorrow.
Seat number 120 from SICL.com is having difficulty staying within track limits.
First stint in the car, was slower than these guys yesterday. Got it getting up to speed, got down to like 203s, 202s, happy with that. And then probably overdrove the car into the second chicane, went a little bit wide, got in the gravel and just caught the left rear, just a bit of suspension damage to it. Got that fixed, all good.
B2F Competition's Peugeot, the number 335, had troubles back in March for the Hankook 12 Hours of Mugello. It was a fuel pump issue then, and back on Italian soil, they've got the same problem again.
I was at the fuel station, I stopped the engine, and it started braking, misfires with the engine, so we don't know what it is, and we don't have one to replace it. So we're gonna see, but I hope the race is not over.
This is a two-part race with the first 4 hours this Friday afternoon, and it's getting close to that first finish flag. Teams are working out their options and wondering what their competitors might do.
I think we are able to finish in first position in our class. Why? Because the other car in front of us, they must to make or driver change or one more refueling.
Team Africa Le Mans don't have the performance they'd expected.
We made a mistake just before the race. We thought we had a little bit too much oversteer, so we didn't made an adjustment to the rear anti-roll bar, which, technical story, but that just upset the car, so it's not stable anymore, and we have a lot of understeer, oversteer. Anyway, we screwed it up. It happens sometimes.
There are battles right throughout the field.
We have it always, because this racetrack, we have a lot of car and we have different car, and it's always in a battle. That's why it's very fun.
Yeah, it was all right. It was good. Good stint. Nice long stint. Nice and steady. No spins. Nice good pace. Yeah, it's good. We managed to get back a few places up. Steady.
The Toyota of Endurance Team Romania has hit the pit wall.
I entered the chicane too fast. At that moment was the choice between hitting other cars that were right behind me or going towards the exit where I found the pit wall. Between other cars that you'd never know how it ends up, and the pit wall, I chose the pit wall.
After 4 hours of racing, it's not the Pro A6 team that see the checkered flag first. Leading after the first day of racing is an A6 AM car, Car Collection Motorsport, the number 32. Further down the field, another Car Collection entry is involved in a final lap collision.
Skoda goes outside from the line, so I think, okay, he gives me space to overtake him inside, and I overtake him inside, and when I was just half a car in front of him, he came back and hit me in the back. So it was perhaps a misunderstanding.
I gave him plenty of room. I've seen the video footage as well, and he's even half a car's width away from the apex in that corner anyway, so he had room to be further away from me. He just came out and smacked me on the left-hand side of the car. So,
of course, the explanations differ, but there's no animosity.
He came to me and apologised, so it takes a lot of credit for him to do that. He'll get called up to the race directors and maybe get penalised anyway. So
the next car along after the accident was the number 40 with Chase Owen driving. He slowed down and avoided the incident, but then had no one to follow. This meant he didn't end up in Parc Fermé on the main straight.
My radio wasn't working at the end, and I wasn't told where Parc Fermé was. I kept asking several times where to go, but I didn't get any communication, so there was nobody to follow when I came in, and I just went straight into the pits, unfortunately. But I think it's all been sorted. They let me go back to the pit or to the grid. So,
as the Brookspeed car enters Parc Fermé, the break in the race has officially started.
The intervention is there that we are limited from noise regulations. Therefore, it's split from 4 and 8 hours. There were some people in the pit lane after 4 hours. They will have a possibility to repair the car, but therefore they will have a penalty. It's even 10 laps, and you see the people, even they which change an engine, they still have a smile on their face because they can continue. And if you look after the final finish, you will see if they make it, they are still proud of that, and they have done a good job. Maybe with some bad luck, they will not be on the podium probably, but they still have done their hobby, which is passioning racing.
Some issues are near impossible to resolve during the race, so an overnight repair is the only solution to keep the car in the race. For example, an engine problem where the solution is something that doesn't appear on the manufacturer parts list.
We've obviously got the car in the workshop, and we've noticed that there is some sort of little section of something on the timing chain cover is missing, and the engine is losing its oil rapidly from the side. But at the moment we're struggling to find any part to be able to repair the car at the moment. So we're trying options. People are looking for stuff, see if they can find anything. We're going to strip some more parts off the car, see if we can get a better view of it, and then possibly try and make a plan to see if there's any way we can fix it so we can be running again tomorrow.
The SICL.com Seat is in Parc Fermé, but because of that last lap accident, the team have decided not to wait till the restart of the race tomorrow to repair the damage.
No, we're going to do it tonight. So we've got a 10-lap penalty to take. So we're going to take it off Parc Fermé, take it in. We'll lose less laps, The 10-lap penalty will cost us less than actually if we did it during the race time. We know the back wheel is pointing out and it's pretty steep on camber. That's not how we set it up. It's not how it went out.
A second day of racing to come. Here's the standings after the first 4 hours. The top 6 are all on the same lap. The leader is the 32 Car Collection Motorsport A6 AM Mercedes. In second, the overall winners from the last race at Paul Ricard, the 911 Herbert Motorsport Porsche. And third to cross the line today, the 27 Renault of the GP Extreme team. In the 991 class, 2 Porsches battling it out. After 4 hours, it's the 85 Pro Speed Performance car that has a 6-lap lead over the 92 of MSG Motorsport. SP3 GT4 is led by the Optimum Motorsport number 231 Ginetta. They've got a 1-lap lead over the 114 of GR Motorsport, who in turn are a lap ahead of Team Africa Le Mans, the Ginetta number 555. Saturday morning, and those cars that have been worked on overnight are pushed out of the garages, some of their mechanics working very late.
We are working with 7 people on the car to change all the things from the other car to the new car. So all the endurance kit and the brakes and refueling. Now we are happy that we can start again.
It has been a hard work for them to repair and fix the car after the damage I did, yesterday. And thank God we will probably manage to finish the race and it will be fun.
The 28 Renault didn't start the race yesterday, but seems to be ready to go today.
Change an engine after quali, between quali and the race, managed to put the car out on track, then the clutch just blew up just before going out. So I was quite unfortunate. So yeah, since then we've been just rechecking everything. It's been pretty much a proper rebuild of the whole car. So hopefully the gremlin is out of the car and we can have a nice race now.
Saturday morning sunshine greets the teams as they're getting ready to restart the race. At the head of the field, the surprise pole sitter of the amateur team from Car Collection.
I have easy work now, 2 hours in the front, but I have in the back really pro cars in the no limit time drive. After 10 laps, I planning to refueling. And after that, 100 liters tank, 2 hours in the front to maximum push to 46.0 every lap.
That's the very head of the field, but each class have their own pole sitter.
We've got almost a lap lead, maybe, depending how the pit stops fall out here in the next 20 minutes. We pretty much just run our pace for the race and our strategy, and then kind of see where everybody's at. And maybe the last couple hours we see what we have to do as far as being more aggressive or changing our strategy.
All but one of the cars on the grid have left for their 2 warm-up laps. The 206 needs outside assistance.
We had in Mugello a similar problem. The fluid went out in the clutch housing, and so even bleeding doesn't help. But in a sequential gearbox, you don't need the clutch, only for the start.
The Audi is going again thanks to a good push from the marshals, and now sets off to catch up with the grid. At the end of the formation lap, the 78 comes in for fuel and some maintenance. The race hasn't yet started, so that will be a 4-lap penalty for coming into the pits too early. The lights are off, we're racing, and the 32 Audi leads the field into the first corner. Not for long. The classes start together in this second part of the race, which means cars of similar performance are together, and that can cause problems.
After the first chicane was a horrible traffic, and then in turn 6 and 7 I have a little contact with the Super Trofeo Lamborghini, and after the last chicane I lost my car. I took a round and I push to the other Super Trofeo car and push him out, and I go in the gravel.
A code 60 is great news for the teams who ran their fuel tanks low at the end of the first 4 hours. Back to green flag racing, and still some problems. The 335 Peugeot from B2F competition still has fuel pump issues. The 34 Car Collection Audi with shifting issues. And the GP Extreme Renault number 28 has to come in twice.
Alors aujourd'hui on a eu un problème de turbo, donc j'avais plus de puissance moteur, et après j'ai eu un problème d'échappement.
When he started, he had a problem with the
the turbo. They came back to fix it, and then he had a problem with exhaust. So many problems. So now it's okay.
Fierce battles for position on track.
I little bit fighting to the second driver in the class, the Pro-Am class. He started with really new tires and me and the old tires. He touched me a little bit. I have a fight and he overtaking me and not fight more. But it's a long race, and not is a good idea to stay in the gravel or crash in some part of the car.
And that's a special characteristic of driving in the 24-hour series powered by Hankook. Certainly a battle and defend attitude, but also a sense of live and let live. Or should that be live and let drive? A scare for Alex Osborn.
Yeah, we had a puncture, just suddenly went down, and I don't know if there's some debris on the track or something, but managed to get it back. It flailed off and broke an ABS wire, so we've lost ABS, but we can manage without that. So yeah, we'll keep it steady, and hopefully we have the next 6 hours of no incidents or nice clean, just tyres and fuel. That's all we need to do.
And not only tyres and fuel, brakes are important too.
Fairly interesting stint. Halfway through the stint, the brakes failed at turns 14 and 15, not realising the brakes were actually failing. And the second time I had the Audi 108 behind me, and I came into the corner, put my foot on the brakes, the pedal went long, nothing. Just flew straight across. Managed to get the car back in, got it into the garage, brought the car up, took the wheels off, showed me the pads, they'd disintegrated. Put new pads in, sent me back out again.
Here's the standings after 190 laps and 6 hours have been completed. The Herbeth Motorsport Porsche number 911 now leading the race. They have a clear 2 laps over the number 11 Ferrari of Scuderia Praha, and 1 lap further back in third, the 30 Mercedes of Ram Racing. In the rest of the A6 Pro class, it's the Porsche number 29 in 4th, E-Deck number 17 in 5th, 6th the GP Extreme number 27, 7th Hofer number 1, and Lippert Lamborghini number 10 in 8th. In A2, Team Cook Sport have a 19-lap lead with their 172 Renault Clio. In second, the 173 Toyota of Endurance Team Romania. 2 hours of racing completed today, added to the 4 that we did yesterday, means we're halfway through the Hankook 12 Hours of Imola. This is the Hankook 12 Hours of Imola.
The medical is, of course, a very important item because although the cars are safe, motorsport is and will always be dangerous. So there always can happen something. We are here in a very circuit with a lot of professional marshals and medical. So we are here in a safe place from that point of view.
The medical people, luckily this time I did not have had any contact with them. But as a matter of fact, so my dad had a crash here at Imola some years ago, where he had to go to the medical center, and there the medical people were very helpful and took care of him because he had really quite a bad accident back then. So I know they're there, I know they're doing a great job, but luckily so far I didn't have to take their services for me.
The drivers recognise the organisers' commitment to safety.
I put a lot of faith in the organization and in today's motor racing. You know, the local automobile clubs have a good supervision. The FIA overlooks it. So I trust that if something, God forbid, happens, that they'll look after us in a very good way also. Touch wood.
Medical professionals provide all of the trackside medical assistance.
We are a doctor and a nurse, and we come here during all the years for the race in Imola.
The medical assistance is available right around the circuit.
We have two cars with the extrication team for the incident of the car in the race, and we have here for the service for the box, for the people who work in the box.
If there is a serious incident, the extraction team secures the driver for transport to the on-track medical centre, which has many facilities.
In the medical center we can make a visit, we can make X-ray, we can make the first aid, and we have car to go to the hospital.
And just like the marshals, the medical team is there for the love of motorsport.
We are not paid for this and we are all volunteers. We come here because we love to see the race and to stay outdoor in Imola.
Here's Gustav Edelhoff in the car collection number 34. He's in the A6 AM class, and through goes the Hofer number 1 and the Scuderia Praha number 11 battling in the Pro class. The leader in A6 AM is car collections number 32.
To stay in the top 5 in the rest of my stint, 2 hours completely. I'm happy with the result, but now is in top 3, the car in fighting for the podium on overall and the victory for the Pro-Am class.
Look after the Hankooks during your driving stint and they will give you performance all the way to your next pit stop.
My last stint was perfect, 2 hours with the same tires. So 2 hours with the same tires, it's crazy, but it was perfect. And my lap, my time lap was okay. First or second best lap in the race, so very good.
It's a happy return to the 24 hours powered by Hankook series for Stephanie Cox.
Yeah, it was very nice to be with LMS Engineering because last year we won the Creventic of Zandvoort, the race. And now they invited me again. I was super happy that I could drive with them because it's a super fantastic team. And yeah, I like the track. I've never been here before. But in the end, pace-wise, it was quite okay for me. And so it was good to drive again with Creventic, yes.
Sitting comfortably at home watching the race doesn't really give you a full impression of the conditions that the drivers have to endure and how difficult the racing becomes because of them.
Very, very hard in this heat. Very hard. A 2 hour stint here, so difficult. It's turn after turn after turn. You get a flow, which is fine, but when you've got the GTs flying past you, you've got to concentrate very, very hard. And you've got to concentrate on where you want them to overtake you rather than the other way around. We've already experienced that yesterday when we were in the wrong place, when one of the drivers were in the wrong place, and the Audi turned in on him down at turn 18. And really what you want to be is on the outside, so they turn in so they can't turn in on you. You're in control then, they're quicker anyway. So a lot of that is concentrating, looking in the mirrors, waiting, knowing where they're going to make a dive, and making them actually go on the inside so that you've actually got they've got the line, but you know they can't turn in on you.
2 incidents at the same time on track means a short code 60. The marshals work quickly to get the cars back up to race pace and fighting for positions. Just staying on the track in this heat is not the easiest thing to do. When you go into the gravel, that can cause severe damage to your car.
Yeah, the problem was that from going out from Roland, or maybe a normal situation that can break, was something on the diffuser on the rear we have to repair because we have so much top speed at the end of the start-finish line. It was blipping too much, and because we are 19 rounds off any result, so it makes more sense to go on safety and repair it for 5 minutes and then go back out on the track. Yeah, because he was going into the rubble on turn 16, I think. He was going straight in the rubble, and then after that he had bad vibrations. But when he came in, we saw that it was the diffuser at the rear was a bit loosey. So no big issue because we were still out of the game after the touch that I had. So doesn't matter, only for fun now, and yeah, bring it home.
The yellow number 28 Renault has already had its fair share of issues. It couldn't even start on the first day. Day 2 is not going too well either. 2/3 distance. Here are the standings after 8 hours of racing. No changes to the top 3, but Herbeth Motorsport with their Porsche now have a 3-lap lead. Second and third on the same lap now, with Scuderia Praha, the number 11, still in second, and 2 minutes 4 seconds further back down the road is Ram Racing, the number 30 car. The car collection Motorsport number 32 still reigns supreme in the A6 AM class. They've got a 4-lap cushion over SPS Automotive Performance in second. Third, the number 34 of car collection. In SP2, Porsche Lorient Racing 64 still holds the lead. The P2F competition number 35 car is second, and the Mark Focus Racing number 58 of VDS Racing Adventures. What One of the characteristics of the 24-hour series powered by Hankook is the diversity of the field.
We have not only a real mix of cars, let's say touring cars and fast GT cars. We have a mix from, let's say, amateur, gentlemen and professional drivers. We have also a good mix of young, talented people and experienced people, even people over 50 or even over 60. And those I would not say all, but older and more experienced people, probably they have the passion for 20, 30, maybe 40 years. And we're really happy to be able to facilitate to doing this because it's their life.
This is very good for people over 60. You don't have the last second, yes, but you can go over a long time very quickly. But no, you don't need the last second. So it's a good performance here to drive. 12 hours or 24 hours, you can drive with 60. It's okay.
With 60 and 70 years.
Probably the oldest around, yes. It's my 50th year of competing. Well, I did a lot of endurance. I did the World Sports Car Championship. I drove for the Porsche Works team at Le Mans, so I'm used to endurance. And I stopped rallying long ago, but I still carried on racing for a while. It's cleaner. It's a bit, rallies are too dirty, and if a car breaks, you have to walk far.
Whilst an office worker in a 9-to-5 job might be looking forward to retirement, these drivers show no real signs of wanting to stop racing.
Parce qu'on est obligé de se surpasser et c'est vraiment beaucoup d'adrénaline qui ressort, c'est vraiment une excitation incroyable.
Yes, you have something in your body, the adrenaline, the power, you want to do something with your mind, your body. You want to be better and better and better and go and go and go and go.
The Imola track has changed its layout over the years. Does that make it different to drive compared to the olden days?
Well, strange enough, it isn't. It's a weird track, you know. It's anti-clockwise. It's a lot of uphill, downhill. You're in between a lot of gears. You know, a lot of corners. There, third gear is too long, second gear is too short. I mean, that was back then, and that still is. So a lot of characteristics are still exactly the same.
Whether seasoned driver or youngster, all competitors face the same issues.
It was very difficult, it's very hot in the car and a lot of traffic, and after 1 hour and 25 I had to go to the box to change the brakes plaque.
The hot weather in Imola is good practice for Portimao in Portugal, which is the next race in the 24-hour endurance series powered by Hankook.
Portimao is going to be extremely hot, yeah. It's going to be definitely a test. Hopefully it'll cool off a little bit in the evening, but certainly during the day it's going to be difficult.
We think about for Klimatisierung in the helm. So I think it's good. It's best to do it because when you have 40 cigarettes in the outside, in the car 60 cigarettes, it's very hot.
The engineers try to keep the drivers and the cars cool.
Thankfully we have air conditioning on the car, so it's actually when the cars are circulating on track it's quite cool in the cockpit. And I guess for us mechanics we'll just have to drink plenty of water.
Nicky Pastorelli in for a pit stop. The team having difficulties trying to get the wheel off. Look carefully and you'll see they're trying to loosen the bolt, turning it clockwise. You'd expect that to be done anti-clockwise.
And it looks like they do it the opposite way as what you would normally expect, but with race cars, left, right and left and right side, they both turn in the same direction. So it never can come off when the wheel's turning. They do that on purpose.
GP Extreme started to resort to extreme measures, but had to give up in the end.
They tried hard, but it just didn't come off, and it didn't make sense to continue because we lost so many time already at that stage that we decided to stop.
The leader of the race still wading through the field.
We have not a lot of fast cars, just about 10. There is a challenge, but the SP2 cars and so, it's no challenge for us. You must be careful. They have also they work on the limit, and you must look what's happened then, and you must be careful that you have no accident.
I was with the Lamborghini. I brake too fast, and it was very difficult to take my way again, but I did it.
In this, as in any true endurance race, anything can happen. It seems to happen rather too often for the 206 of LMS Engineering.
Yeah, we stopped the car as a safety reason, or for safety reasons. We struggled a bit with the brakes, like several cars here. And unfortunately, at the end, we struggled with the electronic as well. So we had no power anymore, and found out that there is a CAN communication problem in the car, what we could not solve in that time.
Herbeth Motorsports 911 comes into the pit lane. It has a 3-lap lead. Ralph Bourne bypasses the fuel station. The car's only been out for 20 minutes. He's straight into the garage. The lead is lost. 22 minutes to get the Porsche back on track.
Some connection is broken, some water connection is broken. We lose water and then the motor is overheat and then we repair it. We lose a lot of time.
Back to the top of the timing screen, the 32 of Car Collection and A6 AM entry. But the pro teams are not done yet and are battling their way to the front.
Been a lot of fun out there. I've had some really good battles with the SPS Mercedes. We battled a lot this morning, and I've battled with the Ferrari a huge amount as well. We always, there's 5 kilometers of track out there, and we always seem to be able to find each other and battle it out for the hour. So it's been a great race from our point of view.
In A2, Endurance Team Romania are 47 laps down on the class leader. They've been in the pits for quite a lot of time already, and now their Toyota has a gear problem.
We have a problem with the gearbox. The 3rd gear and 4th gear doesn't work anymore. We now need to finish the race with just three gears. 1 set of gears, 2 gears, and 5 gear work now.
However, soon after, the Toyota is involved in a major incident. The SPS Automotive Performance Mercedes is trying to get past the Team Ultron Peugeot. Look to the right of the picture, and Fabrizio Broschi in the 147 goes off track, and as he comes back on, he hits Iraj Alexander. The AMG GT of SPS Automotive Performance looks beyond repair. The code 60 is required to clear the track. Endurance Team Romania's car crawls back to the pit lane and into retirement. The good news is no drivers were hurt. As track cleanup continues, here's the standings after 10 hours of racing. The Herbeth Motorsport Porsche is still in the garage and has fallen out of the top 3. The new leader is the 32 Audi of Car Collection. They have a full lap lead over the Ferrari, number 11 of Scuderia Praha, and a further lap back, the Mercedes of Ram Racing. Technical issues in the TCR class have created huge gaps. TTC Racing number 103 leads. 15 laps back in second is the Team Ultron 908, the number 120, now down in third. GR Motorsports 114 now leads the SP3 GT4 class. Second and a lap back is Optimum Motorsports in the 231. 2 laps further back, the 555 of Team Africa Le Mans. Now there's just 120 minutes of racing before we see the checkered flag here at Imola. You can plan all you want, but as many teams have already found out, it's the unexpected problems that make you throw those plans out of the window. To be a winner here, you need to have a consistent car.
Yeah, we had a great car. We can do very good rounds. And we have the problem that we just can drive the 1.46 seconds around the track. And we push very hard to be very on point on this time. And I think it's very hard to drive faster in these conditions because it's very hot. The tires are also very hot. And so the pros, the pro cars cannot even drive so much faster than us.
Off-track excursions can cost you more than just time. The GRT Lamborghini has been in the pits half an hour and the team have made the hard decision not to continue.
Yeah, actually we were a little bit unlucky. We had an accident this morning and so it damaged all the brake ducts and everything. And in the end we had to retire because of a brake damage, because all the air ducts, everything was damaged. And so we said, okay, sorry guys, we lost already a lot of laps, and yeah, we want to make it proper, we want to repair it proper, and for this we need some time, and we will do this at home, and then we come back in Portimao and we keep on going on that.
It's a bit strange race. It's not a race when we have to be quick. It's a race when the winner is the one who had the less issues, and only one Seat has no issues, and the car is first. Now our first car, the 908, is second, and it's the car who had the less trouble or issues among TCR cars. It's a strange race.
There's consternation in the pit lane. Aude-Marie Milton of Porsche Lorient Racing is rushing to the Ram Racing pit garage.
We just came into the team to apologize because my driver, he did the wrong box, but they take up the thing in front of his car, so he's accelerating. But with the he took everything, so we just wanted to apologize and to make sure that everybody was fine.
Good news, there's no major injuries to the mechanics.
Just in that pit stop there, and I think the Porsche driver was blinded by the sun a little bit and thought that this was his box, so he stopped. And then we removed the stop board. He accelerated away, but unfortunately caught our boom with his rear wing, which ended up pulling the whole trolley over. Made the stop slightly exciting.
Everything, and more importantly, everybody is okay, and the race continues. The 555 Ginetta from Team South Africa coming back to its team. Mechanical issues.
The diff let go. But about an hour and a half to go. There's just a lot of a noise in the diff, and the diff is backed up. We had a pit stop earlier to check it out. There was an oil leak, and I think that's probably what caused it. I think that the oil got out of the diff, and eventually the diff just let go. So that's probably what happened.
It's still a tight battle between Scuderia Praha Ferrari number 11, a team with just 2 drivers, and the driver duo of Ram Racing number 30. Both of these cars doing very well in the final hours.
I managed to overtake the Mercedes of Ram Racing, and yeah, as I said, then I was kind of conservative because I was thinking that maybe we wanted to really try to overtake the Audi in front of us, but yeah, we just couldn't because of the fuel.
So far it's been really close. I can't believe we've got now 20 minutes to go, and with looks at the moment we're running in P3. We have a penalty to add on, but I think we're okay at the moment. But it's been a huge battle. It's a shame we lost out to the Ferrari just dropped to P3, but what a job Renault has done this weekend. He's been so fast, and he held off Joseph Krall there, the pro driver in the Ferrari for a long time there, so credit to him. It's been a great battle, especially with the guys in the Ferrari, them also driving just one Pro and one Am as well. We've had fun with them this weekend. It's been really cool.
It's not all over in the classes either.
We're leading our class and very happy, 8th overall right now. We've led the class since very early on in the race, and have just kind of held it there, trying to be very consistent in what we were running. But it's hot out there. It's a lot of work.
We are really happy to be in the first position. We have 2 laps over the second, but the race is not finished. We still have 6 minutes, and we can't say that we have win because race is race. You never know before to pass the damier.
The last lap. The 32 Car Collection A6 amateur class car poised to win the race, much to the amazement of the team. This a result they weren't expecting. Of course, they had a higher fuel allowance than the A6 Pro teams, but they weren't allowed to drive faster than 1 minute 46 seconds per lap, a limit the Pro teams didn't have. The teams head to the pit wall, the checkered flag out. Tony Fournier races himself to the top step of the podium. The number 32 Car Collection team takes the trophy home to Germany. Scuderia Praha and Ram Racing claim their overall trophies for second and third. A great result for the first ever Hankook 12 Hours of Imola.
Wow, I decided podium in overall and first in the class, but that is crazy the best. Perfect, really happy. Congratulations to the Audi Sport, customer service and car collection, and every mechanic to work really hard for the car are there. Thank you very much. To the lineup, to my drivers in the team, the Horst and Max and Dimitri Parhofer, really good job. Every driver, every mechanics, on the kitchen, everything is perfect today.
Well, I have to say a bit scary, honestly, because we were running out of fuel. So yeah, I was basically just trying to save the fuel, but anyway, to keep the pace as high as I could. But in the last few laps it was really tight, so I had to back off and yeah, just bring the car home. So in the end, the second place is really something what we didn't expect.
It was good. It was we had a lot of racing time for myself as I liked, but it was a tough battle and I enjoyed it a lot, and the other guys did as well. So it was quite exciting. Good. I'm happy that it's over and done and that we are on the podium. So we had a great time. I'm very happy with the third place.
This weekend was really fantastic. There was some special situation about some crashes, some particular situation with the drivers. I saw wonderful cars, really nice cars, and I saw some very good drivers also for this championship. I want to thank Creventic and also Hankook as a sponsor of the series, because we are very happy about the results of this race, and I hope that in the next year we will do it again. Maybe in the future we can organize also 24 hours. I mean, who knows?
Here's the final standings after 12 hours. An incredible win for Car Collection and the number 32 taking the overall victory. The Ferrari of Scuderia Praha 37 seconds back and only 19 seconds further away in third position, the 30 AMG GT of Ram Racing after 720 racing minutes. The class winners look like this. A6 Pro, appropriately the number 11, wins the maiden race on the Autodromo Enzo Edino Ferrari. The overall winner, number 32, Car Collection Motorsport, takes the A6 AM class. In the 991 category, it's Pro Sport Performance with their 85 car who take home the big trophy. Porsche Lorient Racing take the SP2 class. The car that arrived just an hour before the race has won SP3 GT4 for JR Motorsport. The top step of the podium in TCR is occupied by the number 103 team of TTC Racing, and Team Cook Sport with their Clio number 172 wins A2. Cars that entered the race last minute, competition to the last minute of the race, and less than a minute between the overall top three. Great entertainment that makes the 24-hour endurance series powered by Hankook a joy to race and to watch. And there's more to come at Portimao, Portugal at the end of August. For more information, go to the website 24hseries.com. But for now, goodbye from Italy and the Circuit of Imola.